Macey Donathan, thanks for coming in. Congratulations. I think moving from 3 wins to 15 wins and 7 conference wins is a remarkable achievement for your team.
Yeah, when you look at the growth from this year, a lot of it obviously was done in the spring, and then we had an additional week of preseason practices that we don't typically get. And I think that really helped our team just bring in the freshmen and allow them some time to be together. Because usually for us, they come straight off of basic training and they go to their first practice and they're like, so what's our offense? What are we doing here? So we got some runway this year, and I think that really helped just solidify what we're trying to do, especially as we have some young kids coming in, not just freshmen, but even sophomores. There's just some things that we had to nail down, and that really helped us. And I think, too, just the buy-in, overall buy-in, where we're still pushing the needle there a little bit, but just noticing, I think they're noticing that we're trying to be as simple as we can so that we can do those things over and over and over again. We don't want it to be too complex for them, because when you get in pressured moments and you're following a complex system, that doesn't usually condone itself to success, at least for us right now. So really trying to just be as simple as we can. And I think when you look at a kid like Ashley Bible, who is playing in every set at this point, and she walks away from this year just under 4 kills a set, like that's just phenomenal. Numbers that you've never seen before. And I hope that just lends itself to the team to see, like, hey, just keep following the plan, keep listening, and it's not going to be fast, it's not going to be immediate, it's going to be slow going, but it'll come,
Let's talk about last week real quick, because the first set against Utah State, and this has happened several times this year, where your team comes out and just dominates, and then something changes between that set and the rest of the match. You're a coach. You can tell me more than I can see with my eyes.
Yeah, that set was probably one of our cleanest sets we've ever had this year. We're hitting 600 as a team, so there's not many teams in the country that can beat someone that's hitting 600. And so we were very dominant. We passed really well, and we could run what we wanted to. And there were some other things that we were working on, the last few weeks, like back row attacks and running our right side a little bit more, just to vary our offense just a little bit. And I think that helped. And I also think Utah State, I don't want to say they weren't expecting much, but I don't think they were expecting us to come out and be that strong. And most teams probably aren't expecting that. But I think once they saw what we were coming with, they had a choice to respond, and they did. When you're faced with, hey, we could be undefeated in conference, or we could let this team slide, and they did not want us to slide. So they took care of business, and they have some pretty amazing firepower. And I think our team just got caught up in that just a little bit. We were offensive to begin with, and then they started to get offensive, and both of their middles were perfect in that match, no errors. So that's pretty hard to defend when there are no rotations where we get any relief. That's a tough position to be in. And I thought our team responded well. And I think it was a great opportunity for us to be like, all right, the margins are so slim. Like that team they won conference, right, before they go to the tournament. That's how they're operating. And just seeing that, I think, was good for our team.
For sure. Grace and Elisa back next year, but man, Ashley, Joe, Alex, all the seniors really. How do you replace players, and what's your philosophy with that now, 2 years in?
Yeah, I think we're going to miss that group, those 5. They've been foundational in just the success that we've found so far, and they've been through that whole growth process of a new coach, and they stuck with it. So I will always thank them for the time that they've given. But I also think that we've had enough young talent playing to keep that momentum going, and just to see what's going to happen and what it takes. And so I'm hopeful, and then obviously combining that with just new kids that are coming in, we'll have a larger class than normal this upcoming year. And obviously we can't speak to that yet because admissions has yet to occur, but we're hopeful for the future, and we're thankful for those that are young and did get some decent playing time. And the biggest thing for me is just seeing not a lot of programs have to operate with those that are within the program. A lot of coaches will just pull from the transfer portal and, they'll replace. And that's not what we do. And there's pros and cons to that, but the thing that I love the most is it forces these kids to be better. It just forces them to be like, all right, I want to be on the floor and I know I need to operate at that level. Then they, make those changes, and just to see that adjustment and to see that growth is pretty cool as a coach.
Coach Donathan, thanks for the time. Congrats again on the step up this season, and we look forward to seeing what you do next year.
Yeah, me too.